On to you Leos out there. So you have the Five of Swords, the Five of Cups, and you have the Hermit for you Leos. So okay, so a lot of you Leos had separated yourselves from someone, and you're not really getting upset, you're not tripping out about it. You just basically had to get your spiritual value intact, right? This person will try to pull it, try to start getting you upset. And you Leos essentially you Leos ain't necessarily really going for it. Because a lot of you Leos are very much so becoming more spiritually inclined also. And that's what the Hermit card is about. It's about being much more spiritually inclined by understanding that you're not supposed to dive into everything that other people do and engage and frolic in it. So a lot of you Leos are understanding that, meeting people down at a level when they start playing games with you, it's not necessarily the best thing for you Leos to be doing. And so because of that, you Leos just decided to, chuck up the peace sign and said, all right, you done. Because you don't want to have that on your conscience, right? This is why the game is so egregious spiritually as it is physically as well, because physically every now and again it yields and it gives you something that you want, but for the most part it doesn't, right? Because this is why it is I say it's smart for you Leos to not even indulge in the games, and you did the right thing. It's because people who play it don't even realize that they're actually muddying themselves up too, because they start resorting to all kind of antics and tactics and dumb stuff that they end up doing themselves, which basically muddies them up. It puts the dirt on them. So the Seven of Cups and the Two of Cups right here is all about how because you Leos just have other options. Even if you're not necessarily dating anybody else, or you have a roster and all of that, maybe it might just be you, but life is your option. See, this is what I'm trying to say, right? When I refer to options, I don't necessarily always mean like checking off, right? Like going through your phone and checking off a list of different people and all this other type of stuff, right? Like going through names like they're Yu-Gi-Oh or tarot cards or something like this. When I say options, I'm talking about you not being so attached. How do I say this? Like, when someone who is an idiot wants to play games with you, part of the objective is to get you upset, for you to stop paying attention to your own life. Because like I said before, this is how they're able to triangulate you. It's for them to cast some sort of an image or a mirage or some sort of a projection in your mind, in your perception, to where you triangulate them. You allow them to triangulate you. You will start thinking of this person like your whole world. So what happens is that when you have options, when I refer to it, when I say that the zodiac sign, in this case you Leos, have options, I'm not necessarily always talking about like just other people that are trying to get to know you. I mean, that could be a part of it. But what I'm referring to is your life. I'm referring to you have other things going on, your life. And what I mean by that is, if somebody wants to play a game with me or whatnot, I don't really have to indulge them. I don't have to engage with them. I really don't. I have a life. So I have other things going on. I have family members, stuff like this or whatnot. I'm not going to reveal too much information, but I have family members and stuff like this. I have variety, like I was talking about. I have variety in my life. And so a lot of you Leos yourselves, you have options too. You Leos got things that y'all like to do, interests. Some of you may be talking to other people or have access to other people too. Because the options doesn't necessarily always mean like whatever. The options, as far as people is concerned, can also represent access, right? You can go outside at any time of the day, or when people are calling you to hang out with them. You have people waiting on you and stuff like this to hang out with them. You have family members that you can go hang out with and chill with for the. You understand what I'm saying? When I'm talking about options, I'm not just talking about people to date. I'm talking about life options of its entirety. You have things to do. It doesn't just revolve around goofy people and dating and all this other type of stuff. And you Leos have options, right? Life options. Y'all got a lot of things that y'all could do with y'all time. You don't have to be so caught up with this, with a person and allowing this person to triangulate you. But for some reason, this person that you stopped talking to was a loser because they thought that you had all the time in the world. They thought that you allowed them to triangulate you. And that didn't happen at all. That very much so didn't happen. And you Leos will never allow somebody to triangulate you. Even if you get married to the person, you understand that life doesn't stop, so you will try to legitimately make things better between yourself and this person. But if they decide that they want to do things the hard way, you Leos will leave as quietly as you possibly can and as peacefully as you possibly can, because you have life options. You don't have to see people who end up like getting heartbroken are people who they allowed this person to triangulate them. They don't have any friends. They don't have any family members that they go and they visit or they hang out with. They don't have any interests. Their whole life is showing up, interacting with whomever, right? And then that's it, just work. That's it. And that's not, if you ask me, that's not very good. You need variety. Video game or some sort of hobby, a real deep interest that you've loved ever since you were young, that stuck with you all the way up into your adulthood. It could be music. I know some of y'all are music heads. It could be music, could be Beyblade, anime, whatever it is, right? Working out. It could be, cardio, getting exercise, whatever it is. Reading, whatever it is. So the thing is that the Nine of Cups and the Justice right here is about how, so that's exactly what happened with you Leos. A lot of you Leos are, right, Three of Pentacles. Wow, I'm way ahead of myself. A lot of you Leos, right, are understanding that, if something doesn't necessarily work out, you don't have to be caught up with the nonsense. You could literally choose to move forward. And the thing is that the Four of Swords and the Unalive card is about how, because 9 times out of 10, it's not the illusion that someone throws up anyway. Like, how many times have we seen people who talk a lot of trash about how they're so successful and everybody's into them, and then some nasty information comes out about them that makes them look goofy. They're stunting so much online, and then in reality they're really goofy. They got all these kind of issues and all this kind of dirt on them that gets dug up by people that either know them or people who have done real research on them, because they're not being transparent. They're not showing people, you know what I'm saying? Like they're not letting people know, like, this is where I messed up. And I'm showing people that I'm not perfect and I legitimately messed up this way, and this is what it is that I learned from it, right? Like, how many times have you Leos come to find out something really potentially even embarrassing about somebody that tried to play you out, that tried to make it seem like you were beneath them, and it's this weird competition to see who's better than whom? How many of you Leos have seen that? Where they're trying to prove that you ain't squat compared to them. They big stepping and you little stepping, and then something embarrassing comes out about them, right? Maybe they're talking all this nonsense to you one day, and then 2 days go by, 2, 3 days go by, they're calling you. And then now you Leos are checking your caller ID, and you're like, yo, you're like, this person doing all this big stepping. Why are they big stepping over to me? What's up? Go ahead, player. Go ahead. With your bad self. Go ahead. So this person really made a fool. This person really made themselves look bad doing this. They tried to run it, they tried to play it, they tried to pull it. They thought, hey, probably even exchange numbers with them. They ain't call you back. You may have been texting them at first, trying to see what's going on and whatnot, trying to check their temperature. They ain't really getting back to you, Leos, or anything like that. They giving you small talk, which there's nothing wrong with, but they giving you too much small talk, no kind of milestones, no kind of progress happening. So you Leos is like, all right, it's a dub. It is what it is. Let's clarify the Four of Swords. Page of Wands, Ten of Cups, Six of Cups, Knight of Swords, King of Cups. Like I said, they coming back, calling you on that from that caller ID, calling you, and you Leos, not from the caller ID, but they're calling you, whether it's on the landline, because I still have a landline, but whether it's on the landline or the cell phone, you Leos just looking at the phone like, I thought this person was so gangster. I thought this person had so many options and they were so on point. How come they coming back now? The Page of Wands and the Ten of Cups, you have other things to do. See, this is what makes you a much more serious-minded person and take less stuff, because you have priorities to handle. You have other things going on in your life. That's what helps raise your value up, Leo. See, when you don't have anything and your whole world, triangulation, is this person, they can play these types of games on you and you'll accept it. You'll be more inclined, or there's a better chance of you accepting it because you don't have anything else. But when you Leos are like, all right, you got friends, you got family, you can chill by yourself, you can go to dinner by yourself, you can do whatever you want to if you can afford it by yourself. Nobody's looking for you. You ain't living that type of lifestyle. You can do whatever you want, right? It's up to you. Now it's like now it's like the way that people tried to play you out before when they were running them antics, they was trying to make it seem as if you desperate. That's some of the most frustrating stuff in the world, Leo, is when you trying to be nice to somebody. You're trying to be legitimately nice to somebody, or you may be checking a temperature to see if their heart is open, if their spiritual value is developed enough, and then they trying to make it seem like you desperate for them, and they're getting upset at you, and you're like, listen, real talk, like I'm just saying hi, like I haven't even really made a decision on whether or not I really want to rock with you long term like that. Like I'm just still getting to know you. A lot of people got that problem badly. A lot of people had that problem badly. There's a lot of like the vanity, the vanity, the overconfidence, the ego is crazy, where people make these extreme assumptions. It's like, yo, like I don't know, who are you? I don't know you like that. Like I just be talking to you. Like I don't know you like that, like that. Because I tried talking to you. When I tried talking to you twice. Now I just look at you really like a friend. Because every time I try to get to know you, potentially it may have turned into something romantic, right? You basically was on guard, standing in your way. Your ego came out to be your bodyguard and told me to step off. So that's what I did. And that's the same type of scenario for you Leos. Some of you probably, from what I'm seeing here, y'all didn't even know these people too much like that. You were just now getting to know them, and this person was playing like it's sad, fam. Yo, I wish people would stop acting like that. Because it's legitimately sad for real, though. And now they're coming back. Six of Cups, Knight of Swords, and the King of Cups. You Leos don't want to have anything to do with them. Now who's the loser? Now who's the one who's thirsty and desperate? Now who's desperate? Truth is, they were always desperate for you, Leos. But they were playing a game, and the game backfired.